Hi everyone. So yesterday I took the girls to Titanic Quarter. It's not very far from my house, and I decided to go there because I knew some more of the Elmer Trail was there, and I just love going there in the morning whenever it's really quiet, and it was a really nice day. The sun was out and it was so much warmer than it has been recently. So the girls found some elephants and we just walked along and looked at all the scenery. And one of the things that I love about the girls being off for the summer is that we have our own schedule and we don't have to be anywhere, so we can just go wherever we feel like going. And sometimes I like to get out and just enjoy nature and find things that inspire me, because it feeds my creativity, and then I'm more likely to want to create when I get home. And I think it's important to also just get some vitamin D in the morning, and getting out for a walk early in the day always helps my mood. And I love bringing the girls here with their scooters sometimes too, because it's just the perfect place for them to scoot about. There's so much flat ground and they love doing that too. This is just a little lighthouse that we stopped at, and my daughter found a hiding place, and then we just continued our walk. I love watching all the wildflowers kind of waving in the wind, and every time we find an Elmer they were so excited about it. It seems like such a good thing for kids. It's so simple, but it does definitely keep them entertained, and we still have so many left to find. This is the Titanic building. It's where the museum is, and we went to it last year for my daughter's birthday. And then this is the Nomadic, which is included with the ticket for the Titanic Museum, and you can go on board and wander around, and we did that last summer too. And then we stopped at a little cafe, a paper cup one that I love. I got a coconut mocha, which is so nice, and we took our drinks to a little picnic bench where we found a bird friend that my kids were fascinated by, and then they fed the leftovers of some of the iced fingers we had to them. And I love to kind of, even if we're going to a cafe, if you bring a mixture of things so that you don't have to get everything from the cafe, because the buns in it were $2.75 or something, so it just adds up really quickly. And then we just continued our walk along towards I always forget what it's called now. It used to be the Odyssey. I think it's the SSC Arena. And I love the scenery around here with the green leafy trees, and it just reminds me of being in a different country. It's stepping out of Belfast for a while, and it's just always more peaceful than the city centre. The girls found lots of cool seats to stop at along the way, and this is just the harbour with all the little boats in it. And we walked quite far. We probably walked a couple of miles, which was pretty good for the girls. And then they were excited to find this bird in the water.
Is it a coot?
What's the only thing in
Comfortable there?
Mommy, do you want to try sitting on this one? It's really cool. Let me try.
Same as this one, he's got a higher back.
And we turned back when there were complaints about tired legs, and this wee seat says on it, "Rest your wee legs," and the girls love to stop at it every time we're at it. And we just headed back to the car. The girls were swimming later, so they wanted to save some energy and have what they call a rest before that, which isn't really a rest to anyone else. But it was just such a lovely morning. Hi everyone. So this feels like it's the first minute I've had of peace today, because my kids are watching TV before I take them to their swimming lessons, and we had a busy morning. I took them out for a walk around, and I've just been cleaning a lot because the house is gross, and I still need to do a lot more, but I just thought I'd take a break while I can. And yeah, I'm gonna write morning pages because I've sort of got out of the habit of doing that, and I want to reread The Artist's Way soon, just because it gives you exercises in it that you can do if you kind of aren't feeling inspired and you need a place to start. And at the minute I feel like I'm not really in the mood to write, but I know I should keep going with it because I'm about a quarter of the way through a book. and I think a lot of it is to do with it being the summer holidays and just like things being busy and the kids being at home. But I'm going to do the morning pages thing to get myself started so I get in the way of writing. So yeah, I'm just going to have my coffee, which I always end up reheating about 15 times, and then I'll find it the next day in the microwave. As I'm writing, I just thought of something that, I don't know, like for a long time I used to think if I wasn't creating something every day that it was like wasted time, but I'm starting to realise that the things that you do away from writing and art are the things that provide inspiration, and it kind of gives your brain a rest, and I think that's whenever you get your ideas and you can get your thoughts in order. So like I was just thinking, like if you're creative, what do you do to seek inspiration? Like what activities do you find help you to kind of switch off from it, but then it feeds your creativity? I think one of mine is definitely like going for walks and like drinking coffee in the sun, and like people watching. Like I love whenever you go somewhere and there's just so much around you to see that's interesting, and where we went to today is kind of like a tourist spot, so it almost feels like you've stepped outside of Belfast for a while, and it's just like a change. It's got like a kind of slow pace, and I just see a lot of people there for tours, and it makes me feel like when it's sunny there, like we've had like a miniature summer holiday. My kids are calling me, hang on. And do you have places that you think inspire you more than others? Like I think that nature helps me a lot, like anywhere with a lot of greenery or a lot of background noise actually, whether it's like birds or if you're in a coffee shop or like an airport or somewhere where there's kind of a buzz about the place, but you can't necessarily pick out individual conversations. It's more like just a kind of hum in the background. I don't know why that really helps me, like with reading and writing. And I think like, I guess it's just getting a different environment, and it kind of gives you a new mindset. I think it's really important whenever you've kind of got sluggish and you're not in the mood to create something. So I'm going to try to view like those times as productive rather than wasted time, because they're definitely as important, if not more, than like when you're actually actively creating stuff. And just as I'm kind of listing things, I'm just thinking I can share some of it with you. Like what do you want to achieve this summer? And it doesn't have to be anything like grand, like, and it doesn't even have to be something that you could put on your CV. It's just like, for example, I just want to like have nice times with family and enjoy the moments whenever there aren't like disputes with my kids, and go to places that are a bit further afield that it's harder to go to during the school year because you just don't have the time to do it, and enjoy nature. And I also love like using the opportunity that we have in the summer to find like free events. Like I've got more time to like sit and research and work on finding things that we can go to, and then like planning. I think it breaks the summer up if I have things planned that we can do together. So like I've booked the Mela, which is like a kind of festival in Botanic Gardens in August, and we have a couple of holidays, just like local ones booked, and I think just like breaking it up into little bits where you have things to look forward to really helps. And I don't necessarily have any creative projects where I'm like, I have to do that this month. Like, I know I'm probably not going to get my book finished in the next month, but that's okay because I'm still working towards that. And like, I might do some painting, but it's more just because like for the enjoyment of it rather than because I'm trying to achieve something. And I think I'm just going to work on like slowing down and letting myself like have a rest and just appreciate like the moments with my kids, because I'm realizing as well that they're getting older and they'll probably be a lot more independent soon, and I want to enjoy the fact for now that they still like going on day trips with me and that they will like happily be seen in public with me, because I know that won't last. And I've realised too that my birthday is next week, and although like I would rather downplay the whole thing now that I'm getting like older and I don't necessarily want to advertise my age, I want to still try to make it into like a good thing and celebrate getting older, because I think a lot of people are like scared of getting older and there's just so much negativity attached to it, and I don't think it is a bad thing, and it's actually a gift, because if you think of how many people don't get the chance to get older and all the wisdom that you've gained in your life like so far. So like I think I do want to try to mark it in a small way. Like I don't mean have a party. I mean more like, I don't know, you know those little moments that you have that just like you can connect it to a particular day in your past and then you don't forget it. Like I can remember on my daughter's birthday doing marshmallow toasting like in the back garden, just with like, I think it was with a tea light. And that was like such a simple thing, but I now associate it with that and it just brings up like a happy memory, and I want to do something like that. I kind of like the idea of writing something down and then like burning it. I know that sounds a bit destructive, but there's a like YouTuber that I really like called Purple Palace, and she does little rituals like usually to do with the full moon. I don't really know anything about that, but like just writing things down, and it's kind of like getting rid of energy and burning things, and I don't know, I kind of like the idea of doing that, although I don't really trust myself to not burn the house down, so I might do something like a little less dangerous than that. But yeah, I also thought about like have you ever like written a note and like put it in the sea or something like that? It's like letting go of the past and thinking about what you want in the new year, or like, and it doesn't even have to be at the beginning of the year, it can be like at any point of the year that you can kind of decide to start over and just like seek new things. And I definitely want to get cake, because like I just love cake, and I have been trying to limit my intake of it because it's like the one thing where if I eat a piece of cake I'll probably gain loads of weight like the next day, but I just love it. And I might buy one, because usually I always make cake, but it kind of feels like more of a treat in a way whenever you just like, you don't have to do the preparation of it, even though I love baking. And I was actually thinking about baking my daughter's birthday cake this year, because her birthday is 2 days after mine. So yeah, I'm gonna like think about that, and I don't know if I can trust myself to make it look very professional, but like I'm willing to try anyway. And I think it's good to always like kind of push yourself in small ways and try new things, even if they're not anything significant, just like to kind of keep yourself growing all the time. Yeah, so I think I'm going to get out my computer and try and write even like 1,000 words before I go out to the swimming pool. Thankfully I don't have to get into it today, because I just couldn't face the thought of getting changed and getting in a cold pool right now. But yeah, I think like I might just like have a chat with a friend that I know that goes there while our kids swim. And I don't know, I'm not putting any pressure on myself today to write a set amount, but I would be happy to just kind of keep the story going, because I think if you get away from it for too long it kind of breaks the flow. So what are you going to do with your day? Do you have any creative projects planned? Feel free to share them with me, and like, comment, subscribe if you'd like more content. And thanks for taking the time to watch my videos and spend some time with me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.